I need 2 minutes to take a bathroom break, and we'll turn it off.
Can you believe that? You should. I've been saying that nobody has privacy. Nobody, and it's not just your text messages. It's not just your emails. It's not just your phone calls. It's not just your cell phone. It's the satellites in the sky. That technology does a whole lot. It can see into every house. It loves to just research everyone, and they're not going to tell you because they want to research people in their natural habitat. It's been going on a long time, and the fact is, can you imagine here, he's talking about the chest cameras that cops wear, right? And, having to say, Oracle, I have to take a bathroom break, the very fact that you have to say that to the machine. And then he says, but we don't really turn it off. We just put something blank over it. So, the amount of intrusive things that have been done to all of us is so massive. I don't think anybody would want to know, because of what a breach of privacy has taken place for so long. So I don't think that Donald Trump can executive order that away. I think it has to be handled a different way. As I keep saying, I think it's going to be handled by God. I do, because it's the digital gulag I've been bringing up. That's what all the satellites going up in the sky are for. So please stop praising Elon, okay? I know the people that are praising Elon, they're the transhumanist types, and likely many of them are pedophiles too. I'm not trying to say that about Elon. I'm just saying, they tend to all have a same pattern kind of thing. They good friends with Diddy and anyway. So look, God, this is the reason Jesus spoke in parables too. Because he talked so much about trees and weeds, and I think that's why people are just like, I don't know what that means. And so he talked about the different seeds, and the seeds were the people, okay? So he says a farmer goes out and he's going to go, tend to his farm, and he has seeds in his pocket, and some of them fall on the ground, and they get the seeds get devoured by the birds. And as he's walking along, some of them fall on the rocks, and they immediately spring up. But they quickly wither and die because the sun scorches them, and they're not rooted in any soil. And then there's the seeds that land on the good solid ground, and those are, good roots, a good crop springs up, and it's solid. And he's not talking about seeds in farming, he's talking about people. And so what he's talking about is that the people that hear the word of God, so the seeds that fall on the ground and are devoured by the birds, those are like your atheists. They're immediately devoured by the birds. They can't hear, because always with the parables, Jesus said, those that can hear, let them hear. Those that can see, let them see. So, those people, those seeds, immediately, not even any chance, they're gone. They're eaten by the birds. The seeds that fall, the people that fall on the rocks, they hear the word, they're joyful about it, and they stay true to it. But once tribulation or hard times hit, then they quickly fall away from it. Those are the people that fall, when he was explaining the seeds that fall on the rocks. So they quickly spring up, and they're open to it, and it's joyful, but then when hard times hit, then forget that stuff. And then there's the seeds, the people that are on good solid ground, their root is good, they're solid, and whether tribulation or no tribulation, or hard times or good times, they stay true to understanding Jesus's word. And Jesus spoke in parable because he knew people weren't going to understand. He said, he says here, you will indeed hear but never understand, and you will indeed see but never perceive. For this people's heart has grown dull, and with their ears they can barely hear, and their eyes they have closed, lest they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and turn, and I would heal them. Not going to happen. You know what most people in America will do? Well, that surveillance isn't hurting me, or I can't do anything about it. So it's just, as long as it's not doing anything to me, I don't care. Or there's the people, the higher educated would just be like, that's not happening. What a conspiracy theory, but they're the stupidest of all, in my opinion. I was hearing the other day, somebody had said that Trump really, he looks up to people that, are like from Harvard and stuff. And I don't know if that's true. I just thought, oh, well, okay, whatever. I don't have a whole lot of respect for many of them. It just seems like the higher educated you are, the more less likely you can understand Jesus's words. So what good is that? But it all ends up going back to God, really, because also with the parables, God was talking about how with using a farmer and seeds again, how a farmer goes and lays his seed so that he can get good grain, right? But in the middle of the night, globalists come, Silicon Valley comes and mixes in with the good grain a bunch of grain that's going to produce weeds. And so the next day when the farmer and the workers find out, the workers say, do you want us to go and pull all the weeds? And he says, no, because you'll pull the good grain too. Just wait and leave it. Let them grow together, it says. Let them grow together. So with the good with the bad, let them grow together. And then when harvest comes, the harvest comes, we're gonna gather up the wheats in one big bundle and toss them into the fire to be burned. And then the good wheat, we're going to bundle up together and put it in the barn. Again, God's not talking about farming. He's not talking about seeds. What he's talking about is people. And that he will come. In fact, it says the reaper will come, and the reaper is an angel. The reaper will come and take the weeds, bundle them up together, and throw them in the furnace. Yeah. So that's why God said the whole world lies with the evil one. So you have to recognize that. The evil one is so deceptive that it's going to give you some treatments that work for some diseases, okay? Doesn't give any cures, but again, you're living under the world of the wicked one. So it'll give you some treatments that work. So it makes you believe the science knows everything. I mean, the science is what it's used to its great advantage to deceive everyone. It really has, because people will sooner believe what science says instead of the Bible. It's always how it'll be. So that's again why God said, be on the narrow road, don't be on the road with everybody else. The other thing is, everything seems to go back to crowns, and because God talks so much about thistles and thorn bushes, and because he also talked about the seeds that would fall in the thorn bushes. And he said those thorn bushes are going to come up and it's going to strangle the good seed. And basically those are the people that hear the word, but they're more interested in what's more important to them, the worldly ways of this world, the riches and all the luxuries. But Adam and Eve, when they were thrown out of the garden, God had said to them, you shall eat you have now cursed the ground, because of you in pain you shall eat of it all the days of your life, thorns and thistles. The very crown they made for Jesus, thorns and thistles. Jesus knew how this world was, man. Well, he's God, he knew how it was. And yet, what do you know what else, another word for crown is? Corona. Like COVID-19. Yeah, it's referred to that because of the spikes, the spike proteins. It looks like a crown. So the wicked one has always been controlling this world. Its symbolism is what will be its downfall. But ultimately, Trump could not executive order away the surveillance state we've already been living under. We've just been told that we've had all this freedom, and we really haven't. And this will take, as I've been saying for years now, a God intervention.